Hey guys! Today we're going to be looking at the different defense mechanisms of octopuses and look into the different species that exhibit these mechanisms. Now, let's get started. First, we're going to look at the overview of the anatomy of the octopuses. Octopuses are characterized by their 8 arms, not tentacles, using bearing suction cups. These arms are a type of muscular hydrostat. The majority of octopuses have almost entirely soft bodies with no internal skeleton. Octopuses have a relatively short lifespan, and some species live for as little as 6 months. Larger species, such as the North Pacific giant octopus, may live for up to 5 years under suitable circumstances. Octopuses have 3 hearts, as some of us may know. 2 pump blood through each of the 2 gills, while the third pumps blood through the body. Now, where do some of these octopuses come from? Commonly, they can be found in tropical waters throughout the world, such as the Mediterranean Sea and East Atlantic. They prefer the floor of relatively shallow, rocky, coastal waters, often no deeper than 200 meters. The most common area of the ocean for them to reside happens to be along the coral reefs. They create dens where they live and can be undetected in the water. These areas are well populated for food and shelter, while also serving a better life than the dark deep sea. With living in shallow waters, although there is an immense amount of opportunities for foraging and having mating seasons, it also calls for having a good defense against predators and competition of any kind. 3 defense mechanisms that are typical of octopuses are ink sacs, camouflage, and atomizing limbs. Most octopuses can eject a thick, blackish ink in a large cloud to aid in escaping from predators. They also have specialized skin cells called chromatophores for both color changing and light reflection and refraction. They use this ability to blend into the environment to hide, communicate with other octopuses, or warn other octopuses. When under attack, some octopuses can atomize their limbs in a similar manner to skinks and other lizards. The crawling arm serves as a distraction to would-be predators. This ability is also used in mating. A few species have a 4th defense mechanism. They combine their highly flexible bodies with their color-changing ability to accurately mimic other, more dangerous animals, such as the lionfish and eels. We are going to look deeper into the less commonly seen defense mechanisms and how they are used. But first, we will cover the basic defense mechanisms we usually think of when we think of these animals. The octopus is well known for the ability to release a dark ink substance from glands in the body. When they experience stressful situations or are startled, they will release this type of ink in order to disorientate their predators. When sprayed in a predator's eyes, the ink can cause a blinding irritation, loss of sense of smell, loss of sense of taste, and if the octopus himself or herself shoot ink and are stuck in the cloud of their own ink, the ink can cause death. Overall, the ink leaves the predator confused and disoriented, while the octopus makes its rapid getaway. Next, we are going to look at another commonly known defense mechanism of octopuses, which is camouflage. Changing the color of their skin means of defense for the octopus. It is also used to attract mates or to warn predators that messing with it isn't a good idea. Some octopuses uses its tentacles to mimic other sea creatures along with the camouflage. Most octopuses that are capable of changing colors have pores in their skin that help them do so. These are known as chromatophores, iridophores, leucophores, and photophores. Each of the 4 horsemen possess different abilities that aid the octopus to change color. The first and most common is the chromatophore. From the name itself, this is the organ capable of letting the octopus change color. They contain tiny pigments of color and muscles that help it contract and expand. When the chromatophore expands, the color pigments do so as well. When stretched, the color is spread over a large area and thus isn't expressive. However, when the muscles contract, the pigment is in a smaller area and the color is visible. The fun fact is that each of the millions of chromatophores in the skin have nerves attached to them. This means each can be separately controlled to either expand or contract to give complex patterns or colors. The second is iridophores. These cells are capable of reflecting light, hence the name, and thus give a metallic look to the skin. These are more expressive near ink sacs or the eyes of the octopus. Leucophores live up to their name too. They are white in color and are capable of taking the color of the environment. When in bright areas illuminated by white light, they look their natural color. When there's green light, they look green. This property of leucophores helps the octopus to blend easily into any environment. The fourth is photophores, not commonly seen in octopuses, but mostly in squids. They are responsible for giving the ability of bioluminescence to squids. For successful camouflage, these cells work as a team instead of working individually. As an example, the chromatophore can change the body color to blend with the background, whilst the leucophore breaks patterns and introduces new ones on the body. The iridophores can protect the vital parts from being seen through reflection. The skin of octopuses are unique and undoubtedly built for camouflage. With nerves running through the individual cells, controlling them is extremely easy. Turns out they are mostly sensitive to the polarization of light and can differentiate the polarization of different lights better than humans. Another possible reason that the skin has receptors sensitive to color. These are called opsins, molecules that change conformation based on the light they absorb. Octopuses and other cephalopods are thought to possess opsins in their skin. Now, we can look more specifically at a few octopuses. First, we look at the blue-ringed octopus. These marine creatures are actually non-aggressive animals. They hide in crevices under rocks during the daytime for gaining protection and emerge at night. The main model for changing its body color is to exhibit toxicity and warn predators and attackers. Look at how beautiful they are, almost as beautiful as the first neuron in Neural 100. What's not beautiful is what they do to their prey and predators. They have two defense mechanisms, biting their prey and releasing venom, and color changing to warn attackers. The bite from a blue-ringed octopus has a powerful venom in it. This is how they are able to paralyze their prey while they consume them. The venom of other octopuses is generally not harmful to humans, but the only one species that has a powerful enough venom to kill a person is the blue-ringed octopus. The very poisonous blue-ringed octopus becomes bright yellow with blue rings when it is provoked. Generally, the rings are not visible or are very faint when they are at rest, but show up especially when agitated. At this time, the brown patches darken while the blue rings appear and pulsate. These are still very attractive to look at, and they won't attack, but beware of the deadly bite. Last thing we're going to look at is the mimic octopus. The mimicking miracle octopus earns its weighty name. This new-to-science octopus found in shallow waters of the Indo-Pacific is a master impersonator, taking on the appearance and behavior of venomous or bad-tasting creatures to foil would-be predators. What's most unusual is the range of the mimic octopus's repertoire. Most animal mimics impersonate just one animal. The mimic octopus impersonates several, and they can switch between them rapidly. Like other mimics, the octopus changes its coloring to disguise itself. More unusually, it can also contort its body to take on the appearance and behavior of several animals, including the lionfish, the jellyfish, the sea snake, a shrimp, a crab, and others. A detailed example of this is when it mimics a sea snake. The octopus tucks into a hole, sticking just two arms out that display black bands and rippling them in opposite directions, mimicking a snake's movement. Even more remarkably, the octopus only takes this form of a sea snake when it is bothered by the sea snake's prey. The need for mimicry as a protection may come from when and how the mimic octopus feeds. It forages in broad daylight, foraging on open sand flats where it is exposed and vulnerable to fish. At night, it hides in a burrow. Well, that is all for today, class. There is no reflection at the end, just a nice, happy summer. And thank you, QM, for the opportunity for doing this.